Hey, welcome back to HFR. Thanks for joining me today as we review this custom Venom. Is it my favorite piece in my... Okay. We'll be right back. No more. Stop. Okay. So, one day I'm surfing Facebook and Todd at Spec Fiction, the guy I usually buy most of my stuff from, has a photo of this guy and he has one left. I check out the pictures real quickly and I'm like, mine, gotta have it. So I'm just ecstatic that I found this guy.
You did not find us. We found you.
Okay, I'm ecstatic this guy found me. So was very happy with the initial photos and all that, but was curious to see, did it live up to expectations? Well, you got to stick around to find out. Might be the favorite piece in my collection. If you like what I do here on the channel, please hit that like button, please subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you know when I post a new video. So, the concept. With concept, I mean, what's the artist's vision for the piece? What did they see this being? So I was actually trying to do a little bit of research of what era maybe that the design came from, and I found this cover. So the comic didn't exactly match, exactly what I'm seeing here. So I was curious. So I said, well, let me reach out to the artist and see if he'll give me some insight. And he was more than cordial, very super nice guy, just a pleasure to talk to. And he said, it's my own personal interpretation. I just went for my own thing. I wanted to capture the symbiotic animal nature of Venom. He also said I was looking for shapes, the overall design, just some of the crazy textures and colors and just everything in that. So fantastic job. It's original. It's an original vision of what he saw in his head as Venom being. So in the design, the artist did one of the most amazing jobs I've ever seen in the fact of having this complete look and then having this complete look. It's just amazing that he could execute two totally different emotions, everything about it, completely different. I'm just blown away with the vision that he had to execute that. So well done, so well done. So when I look at this piece and think, what the artist had envisioned for it, can I give it an 11? Can I break my own rules and give it an 11? 10. Next is construction. How well did the factory produce what the artist envisioned? They did well. They did very well. For the artist to envision the arm change out, the head, all that, to pull all that together with very tight seams. Yes, they're there. You can see the seams. But whenever you're from a distance, again, brilliant in the design and concept. I'll discuss this in Sculpt, is the way that they hid the seams, and I'll show you that in a minute. The construction, the way that the arms go together, the magnets are fantastic. I mean, it just sockets right in there. It makes sense. The key is tight for it. The feet set well on the base, very well. But minimal clearance here, minimal clearance here. I actually love the fact that he has clearance here. It gives the impression like he's doing that. Again, that's Sculpt. But anyway, very, very well construction. The only thing I would say in design slash construction is he is a little top heavy. He does feel like he could go one way or another if he was bumped, but I mean, you can move it around quite well and it doesn't go anywhere. So construction is A++. Nothing that I can fault in it. Another 10. Next up is paint. On the base, the gargoyles are painted very nicely. I mean, they look stone. They're weathered, and the wash that they use on them, to give the weathered look, very nice. The bricks on the back, I really, really like them. Looks like a brick building with a little bit of highlight that they put there. Oh, that's very nice. The one ding that I would have on this is I don't care for how much they washed out the color here. I wish they had continued the same color here to give it just a little bit of pop in the bottom of it. I don't think it would have detracted from the statue itself, but that's my first ding, first criticism. Moving on to Venom. Wow. Paint job is, somebody's a genius that did this. The color of Venom is kind of a charcoal, dark gray. He's not actually black. And then you have these blue highlights throughout that actually photograph a lot stronger than he actually looks in person. Or if he's under harsh lights, you see him. But on the shelf, he looks black. But the combination of the colors gives definition, where if he was just painted a flat black, it would disappear. So it's just a brilliant paint job on the body of him. Moving on to his head sculpt, it's just amazing. Again, they carried in the same colors, very consistent there. So well done. The mouth has a gloss to it that separates it and gives the moisture of a mouth. The tongue and all has gloss. The tongue will actually stab you on the side if you're not careful, as will the teeth. But very wise color choice there. The tongue, they have a darker, almost maroon gloss and shine to it. Looks fantastic. The teeth are sinister and grody looking. Looks like he needs a serious toothbrushing. He needs some Crest white strips. But so when I bought it, the one thing that I had reservations about were the eyes. I was like, am I going to like the eyes? Because that's not the traditional Venom eyes that I personally knew. They're a plus. They're probably my favorite part of the sculpture. I don't know how well it picks up, but they're a pearl white. They have a sheen to them, a silverish pearl look. And the execution, usually where you see sculptures messed up, is where the whites of the eyes meet the color of the body is sloppy. I was looking the other day, this thing is painted flawlessly. It's amazing how, I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it and kept their lines so precise on this. Paint. This kills me. This kills me. I want to give Venom an 11 and the base a lower score to where it'll equal a 10. But if I ding something, if I have anything that I say I would do that differently, I can't give it a 10. Because of the paint here, I have to give it a 9. Sculpt. The highlight of the show for me. The base is sculpted. The gargoyles are fantastic. They're sinister looking. They look real. The fact that the artist chose to have the head severed here and where he has landed, the imprints there, it's like he landed and knocked the head off the statue here. It's just an amazing attention to detail. This is actually my favorite sculpt of the two. I know a lot of people prefer the other sculpt, but this is actually my favorite. Here's why. I think it is just brilliant to pull off the sinister, conniving vibe that he pulled off. That's a very hard thing to do. It's a very hard emotion. It's one thing to pull off rage, and animal nature, but to pull off that he looks like he's scheming, that you almost can get into his head what he's thinking. to me is just absolutely brilliant. It's my favorite sculpt of the two, and just so well done, brilliantly done. So, giving some love for the alternate sculpt, which is fantastic. They had the engineering forethought to make that, I mean, it is rock solid. You could shake this thing around, it's not coming loose. The tongue on this one has a little bit of a different texture. It's more of like a taste bud, and it almost looks like some sort of iridescence was put into the tongue to make it kind of glisten like. For the artist to have a vision, to have these two entirely different looks, and for the construction from the factory to execute that sculpt the way that they did, 10, another 10. Amazing. Lastly, we have shelf presence. It's hard for a dark figure, you know, one that's painted dark, to pop, to catch your eye whenever you come in, because you got so many, you know, characters and bright colors, you know, to draw your eye to it. But people know Venom, you know, that are at least casual comic book fans. He's a fan favorite. I mean, you got this pose up there. He is so dynamic that it's like, whoa, I haven't seen none of the other ones look like that. Or the subtle, conniving nature of the other one just invites you in to look at him and go, what's he thinking? What's he, is he about to pound somebody? You know, it's just amazing to look at the depth of emotion in that. So, once again, everything about it's amazing. You walk in, it's one of my favorite ones to look at over and over and over and over again at just the brilliance of it. Got to give it another 10. Once again, as overall, it's one of my favorites that I look at. If I walk in the room, my eyes go to it. One of my favorite characters, and so well done, so original, just so well thought out. Shelf presence, 10. So in closing, wow. Wow, that's all I got to say, wow. I feel lucky to own this piece, I really do. I feel that I was fortunate that I happened to see Todd's post at that particular time and scored this, because it will be in my collection forever, as long as I have a collection. Just amazing. Speaking to the artist the other day, he said something and I just literally was like, what? This is his first piece. The first piece he ever worked on. What? There's nowhere to go but down from here, because you nailed it, dude. He also told me that he was had stopped his normal job and was going to pursue his passion to do this for a career as a full-time job. And I was just like, bravo, bravo, chase your dreams, brother. So DB, fantastic, man. Fantastic. So overall, collective score, I'm proud to give my highest rating, and this is my favorite statue in my collection currently, and will probably stay there. A collective score of 49 out of 50. So once again, thanks for joining us this week. I hope you enjoyed a rare piece. Not many of them were made, and if you get a chance to get your hands on one, do it. You will not be disappointed. Again, slam that like button, subscribe, and notifications, and I'll see you next time.